Hi guys, my name is Antonia Florence and this is Educated Rebels. And today we're going to talk about what it takes to actually learn a language. I attend the University of Houston and I've been studying Mandarin for approximately 2 years now. And the important thing in learning a language, or learning anything for that matter, is having a strong enough why. Can you guys see my t-shirt? It's having a strong enough why. Why do you want to learn the language? Is it that you're going to travel to another country? Are you dating someone that speaks that language? Well, it has to be strong enough, because just like New Year's resolutions, if it's not a strong enough why, we're not going to be consistent in learning that language, or learning anything for that matter, okay? So we have to have a strong enough why. That's the first thing. And after the strong enough why, we have to have consistency. Okay, it's very important that we study the language, I would say on a daily basis would be the best thing to do. Okay, and at least like 15 minutes. You have to put some effort in it. Okay, it's just not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take some time. So you have to be willing to be in this for the long haul. Okay, so after you have consistency, another important thing is that we listen to audio and video in that language. I mean, how many times have we tried to learn a language and we memorize some dialogue or something like that, and when a native speaker speaks to us, we don't have a clue or an idea of what actually they're talking about. So, and that's with any language. And I thought about people that's really trying to learn English. I mean, they're learning English in school and from a textbook, but then when they hear a native speaker, we speak very fast and we don't actually follow all of the grammatic rules. Okay? So I would say after listening, it's very important repetition. So it's very important that we constantly practice. I would say the best way is to acquire a language, okay? Not just focus on grammar, but actually acquiring that language like kids do. You know, infants, they listen to the language for quite a while before they actually start speaking, okay? So I would tell you from my own experience, right now, I spend a lot of time listening to audio in Mandarin. And you don't want something that's over your head, but just basic conversations or maybe basic dialogue. I think talk shows are a really good way to start listening, because we have to have an ear for the language itself. You have to have an ear and a feel and a rhythm to how native speakers speak and interact on a daily basis. So right now, I've been studying Mandarin for 2 years, and I can tell you that my experience with the language is way better than what it was when I first started. So before, I actually did not pick up anything at all. But with time, I've been able to actually understand sentences and everything. So I don't want you guys to get discouraged, but just know that it's not going to happen overnight. And if you are consistent and willing to put forth the work, you will definitely acquire the skill. So on this channel, Educated Rebels, we're going to take it step by step, from the very basics. And Mandarin, they don't have words, they have characters. So in order for you to be able to pronounce the characters, you have to learn the pinyin system. And the pinyin system helps you to be able to pronounce those characters, okay? So after you understand and hear the phonetic sounds of the characters, then you have to understand the tones are very important. There are 4 tones in Mandarin. And those tones are very important, because you can have a character that have many different sounds, and they may all sound alike to a non-native speaker. But let's say the first tone is ma, and so it's a flat tone, okay? And the second tone would be ma, it's a rising tone, okay? The third tone would be ma, and the fourth tone, it's a ma. So when you say characters, you have to pronounce them in the proper tone, or people are really not going to understand, or they're going to misinterpret exactly what you're saying. So it's very important that we take our time and we really establish the basics. Once you get the basics down pat, then you will be able to progress. I think it's important that we take our time and learn the pinging that comes along with the tones, as well as a little grammar, because it's important that we understand how to put sentences together. After that, we also need to be able to write the characters, because you want to be literate in a language. You don't want to be illiterate. So it just takes a little time and a little practice, okay? So don't be intimidating by learning something new, but be willing to put in the work. I think when you do that, I would say in a very short period of time, you will find it to be very rewarding. And you can be able to listen to a talk show or, basic things and be able to pick up what they're saying. I think another thing that's really helpful in learning a language is to listen to music. If you learn music, what are your interests? If you like playing basketball and things of that nature, you can go on YouTube and there's a myriad of videos that you can get your ear accustomed to the different sounds. If you listen to some songs, at least you would get the feel. You can't really pick up the tones because they're singing, really, so it's going to be different. But you want to get a feel in the rhythm of the language. I think that's very important. And once you do that, I would say within a very short period of time, you will be able to put together little basic sentences. And we want to have building blocks. So once we establish the basics and the fundamentals, then we can progress on, because grammar gets complicated. And as a native English speaker, a lot of us are not really great with grammar, but we can speak the language. And I think it's the same with any culture, okay? So the more we listen to a language, that will also, and start reading basic things, that will definitely help us acquire an ear and know the grammar as well. So don't get discouraged. Just take your time and knowing that it is a process. It's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. So I just want you guys to stay focused and just know that it's very rewarding. I can go to a Chinese restaurant and I can order food. And before, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't distinguish between listening to Mandarin or Japanese, or Korean for that matter. But when I hear Mandarin, I know it's Mandarin. And then when I hear Japanese, I know it's Japanese. And when I hear Korean, I know it's Korean. So it's just that we have to establish an ear. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be fluent overnight. And really the goal is not to be fluent, but is to be able to communicate effectively in that language, okay? And that doesn't take a long time to be able to communicate effectively, even if it's small things, okay? So I want you guys to stay encouraged and stay focused, but it's very important that we are consistent in anything that we do, and you'll definitely see tremendous results. So with that being said, this is just the first video of a series, and I'm going to walk you guys through and explain to you the very basics and help you to be able to order food or ask where's the bathroom and things of that nature. And over time, you'll become very comfortable and more confident in your speaking and language skills. So I hope you guys will come along on this journey with me, and we're going to study this language, and we're going to be able to communicate. Say hello, how are you doing, what's your name, where are you from, and things of that nature. So stay focused, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.